before anything else, a simple question. If you woke up tomorrow with no memory of your past, would you still be you? Juliette, in the 3rd season of Silo, is living exactly that. She wakes up, she breathes, she moves, but nothing from her past remains. Not the path, not the decisions, not even the reason she ended up here. Here's the important part. The show never explains how she got here. It only shows us the result. A pill, a glass of water, a Juliette who is completely empty. That means in this world, the path doesn't matter, only what the system decides to show you. The system erases memory to build a harmless, obedient piece. But has it actually succeeded? Now a strange detail, mushroom soup. Every night, the same meal is brought to Juliette. On the surface, it looks simple, even meaningless. But here's the thing. When memory is erased, the system isn't just looking for conscious information. It's hunting for unconscious reactions, old aversions, forgotten habits, instincts buried deep enough that they survive. The real Juliette hated mushrooms. So this soup isn't just food, it's a behavioral test. They want to know if her instincts were wiped too. And here's what matters more. By the end of the episode, Juliette empties the bowl. That means her human instinct is still fighting the system's mental reprogramming. Juliette hasn't been fully reset. The system hasn't managed to rewrite the deeper layers of her mind. Now, another character enters the picture. Jenna. Remember her? George's ex from season 1. Someone who suffered her own psychological collapse, who covered the walls of her home in metal sheets because she knew where the cameras were. Now Jenna gives Juliette a long, knowing look. In the world of Silo, memory doesn't just live in the mind, it lives in behavior, in fear, even in the way people look at each other. So this glance isn't a simple glance, it's a sign. The past hasn't been fully erased. Now we move from the individual to the structure of power. Sims and Camille look like a couple, but they actually represent a new power system. Sims, the executor of violence and cover-ups. Camille, the one with direct access to the server room, the one who is power itself. Sims tells Juliette a fabricated story that Bernard burned to death in the airlock. He even adds details. 6 hours to carry the body down. But what's the truth? In a flashback, we see Bernard survive the fire. And it's Sims himself who suffocates him with a plastic bag. That means the new power, to establish itself, was forced into direct violence, forced to eliminate the old pieces. If this system were truly complete, it wouldn't need this level of violence. Sims even lies to his own wife about how Bernard really died. Lying works like glue here. Without it, this relationship and this entire power structure falls apart. The code to enter the server room is still the same classic code, 552039. That number isn't a complex secret. It's more like a footprint. It shows that the new system hasn't fully separated itself from the old one. They didn't even bother changing the code because they're confident enough in their memory wiping technique to believe no one remembers it anymore. Power has changed hands. The people have changed, but the underlying structure is still the same. After the uprising, Silo has entered a phase of reform. A council has formed. Laws are being rewritten. There's even talk of building an elevator. But look closer. Control systems rarely stay stable through real change. They stay stable through the feeling of change. People believe things have gotten better, even when the core structure hasn't changed at all, is the best way to calm down an angry population. Now, another threat, something called vitamin D+. is being introduced into the city's water supply. Heavy barrels moved at night by sled down to the water treatment facility. There are two possibilities here: a genuine public health program after the hard days of the rebellion, or a tool for gradual control, for wiping collective memory on a mass scale. The show never confirms either one, but here's what matters. Control doesn't always need force. Sometimes it comes through your own kitchen faucet. Now a flashback, Washington, the past. Before the silos were ever built, a decision was made that shaped Juliette's entire present. We meet Daniel Keene and his sister Charlotte. Charlotte, a military pilot, is so anxious and paranoid that she changes clothes in the subway and keeps checking behind her, making sure no one is following. She knows the story the media is telling about the war doesn't match reality. What's the core idea behind this timeline? If the world falls apart, the best way to survive is for humanity to forget the past. Why? Because memory means protest, comparison, learning from mistakes. So, in the logic of silos architects, memory is a threat, not a tool. During a classified mission called Operation Righteous Retribution, the news reports that the military is bombing nuclear facilities in Iran in retaliation for a dirty bomb in Washington. But the reality is something else entirely. Charlotte, flying her F-35 at 50,000 feet, flies straight into a mysterious black cloud. This isn't a natural phenomenon. It's a strange oil-like substance that disrupts radar systems. This is the first field test of what will later become Safeguard, the same deadly cloud that guards the silos. Charlotte crashes. She survives, but she wakes up in Senator Thurman's research facility with her memory completely erased. She looks at her brother and asks, "Who are you?" The exact same line that Juliette says 350 years later inside the silo. In this past timeline, we learn Daniel Keene is an army engineer. Senator Thurman tells him, "We wanted to build a bunker. Instead, you helped us build a drill that could carve out the silos." This is the strongest physical link between past and present. That massive drilling machine, abandoned in the lowest level of Silo 18, is the very machine Daniel Keene built. He built a drill meant to save humanity, never realizing he was designing a massive concrete coffin for generations to come. That drill is the physical signature of Silo's original architects, still sitting in Juliette's world today. If we put all of this together, memory is being fractured. Society is managed through surface-level reform. Power hasn't fully consolidated. And there's an unknown outer layer shaping all of it. And the final question: if the past can be erased, is there still such a thing as reality? Or are we only ever consuming versions of reality that the system hands us for its own survival?